What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders and closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys had a incredible weekend for sure. Good morning. We got Alex in the house. Albert, good morning. We got Bill. We got Chad. Good morning, Dallas. Fayaz, Jenny, GW's with us. We got Jay, Joe, Jose, Carrie. We got Liza in the house, Lucian. Whoa. Hmm. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys am doing fantastic. Incredible weekend for sure. Let me see. Alex in the house. I think I got YouTube. There we go. All right. Wow, I got some repeat going on. I like it. All right, let's see if we can get the trading view up and live. Let me see if I can get a new share. I think the market is kind of mellow today. If I sound weird, I went to the Giants game over the weekend. I was sitting out in the cold. It was a good game. Ended in a tie, but yeah, I think the game was 1-5. So we get there around like 10 in the morning. We're sitting outside in a cold parking lot all day. And my friend who goes to Giants games a lot, he's like, yeah, man, I dressed for the occasion. He's got like hats and gloves. I'm like, nope, no one told me. No one told me it was it's cold and windy, but it's all good. Definitely a good game. So can't be too upset. Let's look at the SPY real quick on the hourly. So on Friday, we did have the VPOC move down below 2 key levels. We also came back in and retested. We got to close pretty much right by. Oh no. Did I get the burger? No, we didn't. We That's a good question. Yeah, no, we didn't do like the grilling thing, but we did bring food with us, which was pretty fun. It was definitely a good time. So we had the SPY close on Friday at the retest of Thursday's VPOC. So we're up there, but the VPOC from Friday it did end actually a little bit lower, and today we're gapping down below that. So at this point, I'd be looking for a little bit more of a retest. Probably let's just see where that first retest came in from Thursday. Or actually, it was probably the retest from Friday. Let me see if we can get a fib. If we already hit the 50, we did get close to it. We're hanging on to a developing VPOC from Friday, so I'll be watching that closely, see just kind of where we open. Otherwise, I think we could definitely get down to about 401. Probably today would be that nice 50% retrace. And then we have a little bit lower, somewhere around that 400 mark, 399.69, if that's to the penny. But that would take us back to about a 618 retracement. So I think momentum would be starting to shift. Again, we still have that nice little breakout. We're still moving. What is today? I don't even know. Today's the 5th. So we still get about 8 days until we get CPI. So if CPI comes out next week, we get the Fed talking next week. Maybe that puts us in a more of a hangout mood until we can get some more data that comes in from CPI. We'll see how that goes. But otherwise, I would say probably momentum at least would be a little bit more to the bearish side. We're trapping, even if somebody, let's go a little deeper into the 15-minute. Even on the 15-minute, the last hour, we kind of ran it up. Bulls probably slightly trapped. Obviously, the last candle of the day, you're getting some good volume coming in. All of those guys are looking like they're trapped as well. So yeah, I would think we can go bearish. We did say on Friday too that this was a retest. We're just kind of waiting for this thing to retest. It took all day. We finally got there toward the end. So now that retest is in, VPOC is lower. I probably want to stick to something bearish, which we might get the opportunity to play with the 10 EMA. We might have some pre-market or non-extended hours where we might get below some of those 10 EMAs. We will see. The Qs are a little bit stronger, actually. So the Qs were above Friday's VPOC. Still doing that little gap down, but we're at some kind of key support. So I would definitely be looking to watch that 290.59 zone. If we start breaking 290, there's not a lot of additional support. I'd say the first one we'd be looking at is about 288. It's kind of where we bounced, but we retested there one time. So Probably a little bit easier to break it at this point, and it could take us back to 286. Just roughly eyeballing it, that would probably be about the 618 as well. So we'll see. We'll see if the Qs want to hold this 290 zone for sure. That's what I would have to be watching on the Qs. Tesla did have a little bit more of a bigger gap down. So out of at least all the stocks that we watch or apply the 10 EMA to, I didn't see anything else really newsworthy about the other ones, but Tesla did have some. I believe they said the Shanghai factory, they're looking for about 20% less production than what they've currently been doing. So a little bit of a negative forecast for Tesla. Tesla obviously has not been the strongest stock recently. We just hit 52-week lows. What was that? About a week ago? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's about nine days. So just over 2 weeks to hit 52-week high, 52-week lows, while other things were definitely still kind of rallying, coming back stronger. This is a little bit more muted. For a really bullish, optimistic look on Tesla, I'd probably have to look at. I think I want to clear that 200 level first. Until that point is going to be, I think, a little bit more of the selling pressure. But negative news there. Again, we are below all of the moving averages. This should be, I believe, a gap and go as well. If TradingView wants to make the candles a little bit bigger. Yeah, that looks like a perfect gap and go. I'd be looking for something bearish almost out of the gate. We still are hanging in and slightly above the 10 EMA. So maybe we get some kind of maybe a little support around 188. I would think that's barely, but that looks like a good gap and go. Whether we go 10 EMA with the, if we get a good 10 EMA play, great. Otherwise, I would even be looking for some kind of opening high wave candle on Tesla, look for the breakdown. But that one looks extremely short to me. With the next real support, besides the 10 EMA that we have coming in at is a soft level. Again, that's just giving us the average of where we've been in the last 10 days. Not so much where we're going to go. The next real VPOC level isn't until about 183. So that could give us about $6 to the downside before some real support probably comes in. Yeah, I would love to see an opening high wave 3-minute candle, opening 5-minute high wave, something like that on the Tessie. But yeah, like I said, that was the only one that really had some news in it. You're still getting some gap downs, it looks like, in AMD. This one's in all sorts of just do nothing zone, honestly, for me. So we do have that gap down. We had a pretty good, looks like, high wave candle on Friday. And we're not really gapping or breaking outside of it. So just kind of hanging in there. The only thing to the downside would be we are technically under the 10 EMA, at least on a daily. So maybe a little bit weaker, but we have massive support, probably coming somewhere around 73, 78, somewhere in that zone, 73.90. And I think this one's just going to get stuck. I do have the alert here. So if this one breaks, that's where I'm just going to go buy some crazy amount of puts and ride AMD down probably at least to 67. If not, this thing will come back to about 64.35, but it would have to break down at least, worst case, this candle. But if we can start getting underneath some of those levels of just constant volume, constant support that came in at those price levels, it might be a nothing burger on AMD, at least for the purpose of risk reward. But we'll see if we can get some kind of I would like to actually see probably a little bit more of a bounce on AMD first, and then maybe we look to go short. Or even if we just go back to AMD real quick, there's definitely some type of channel in here. And until this channel or level really gets broken, the only real way to kind of play this thing is see if we could probably go long around 73, 75, and then we'd be looking to go short somewhere closer to this 77.19 zone and kind of just play the sideways little channel that we got. That's otherwise we're just trapped on AMD. There's nothing, not we're trapped. We're just not doing anything. A lot of sideways. NVIDIA. Same thing. Inside day, we are above at least Friday's VPOC. So again, a little bit probably more strength for whatever reason in NVIDIA. Above the 10 EMA, this was a good bullish breakout candle. This was a little bit of a runner. We gapped down. This is only really our first VPOC that's more of a pullback at this point than anything else. So I'd probably let's go to the hourly, see if we can get anything else additional with volume. Yeah, that's somewhere around this 166.77 has been a big support. If that breaks 166.77, and we could get underneath some of that volume and just a whole bunch of nothing that came in really on most of Friday till the end of the day breakout. Next target would take us back to about 157. So we could watch NVIDIA if it does break down. I don't know if I want to go long here. There's a lot of people already profitable. I think in things like NVIDIA, the more we start to push up and rip higher, people, I would assume anybody riding this thing up. I mean, this was 120, I think at one point, 116, and even got to. There's a lot of people just massively profitable that was potentially buying. And I think at this point, when you have CPI right around the corner next week, I don't see NVIDIA really taking off and running. We might get some bigger pullbacks. Maybe this is a double top. Technically, it's still made higher highs, and we're making higher lows. So trend right now is still bullish. I don't know if I want to jump in and play those silly little reindeer games. We got Apple. Same thing on Apple. This is looking a lot like the SPY. This is technically a retest candle. Came back, end of the day, closed right at VPOC, starting to gap down a little bit. This one would be decent for a short. It's going to be inside day candle, but if you wanted to play it, I would go stops high of the day from Friday. That would be my stop location. Try to bring it down maybe to 146.34. Gives you about $1. Not much risk reward on Apple. I think right now, so far, Tesla's the better choice to look at something to take some momentum to the bearish direction. Nice little gap up on Delta. This should be a retest gap hitting resistance. So if I go long on this thing, I'd have to wait for some kind of pullback. Otherwise, I don't know how strong this somewhere in 35.86 would be. But even if you play this one to the retest, you're sitting at 20 cents. Not that crazy. Probably for me, I mean, this would honestly, this would be a spot where I'd be looking to go short, try to catch a pullback, maybe some people taking profits into the higher pivot. Stop would be somewhere maybe looking at $36. I think we start breaking 36. This thing has definitely some more room to the upside. We're in a pretty big resistance zone though. We got up here once, almost got there twice, got there 3 times, and this is a 4th time at that much bigger resistance. Good, decent double bottom, still made lower lows. And Amazon. Here's another struggle bus of a stock. Rest of the market started rallying. This one just no glory. Amazon. Technically, this would be a retest gap. This would, well, yeah, all jumbled up, volume. Key levels. This was a retest here. I don't think there's really any edge. Only thing I would probably be looking for is I'd expect a retest, so I wouldn't short at open if you want to go short. Hanging out really just inside that one big candle at this point. They're gonna need news. So those are the 6 that we typically look at. If you guys want us to look at anything else, let me know. Just type it into the chat pane. Otherwise, Tesla seems like the better version. CRM looks like a decent breakdown. We definitely have established trend to the bearish direction. This would technically be a gap and go. We do have a little bit of support. Probably next target would be about 138.95. So CRM, we have a little bit of room to the downside. I think MGM had an upgrade actually. Yeah, MGM is running. So watch some of the casino stocks today. Jose says Tesla kind of has a hammer bouncing off the weekly. All right, we'll pull up Tesla on the weekly. Greg says, Dan, the Meta day trade on was down on last week. That Meta day trade on was down on last week. What that I stated would now become a swing. Worked out well. Oh, you you hopped in on a Meta trade? Let me just see Meta real quick, and then we'll throw up Tesla. Are they gapping up? There's definitely been some interest in Meta. Meta's been doing a decent pullback. Are you still in this one, Greg? Timing sucks this morning. It's Monday. It's Monday. I get you though. I get you. Yeah, Meta's been having some little bit of strength. If you're still in this thing, watch out for probably 126. Still gives you some upside, maybe 127. I'd be looking to peel back some shares, start locking some profits. But this is technically just filling the gap at this point. It's a nice little gap fill on the Meta. It's had one heck of a move from the lows, went from $90 to 123 in the matter of 2 weeks. Probably someone's going to want to ring that cash register. Let's take a look at that Tesla weekly. Keep on trading view, do your thing. Yeah, so that's, you're probably looking at this hammer from 2 weeks ago. That's definitely a 3-bar reversal play on Tesla. And yeah, maybe we can find some kind of support, even if this is coming back down to just kind of retest that hammer. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see some kind of inside week this week on Tesla, to be honest. But if you're going to try to go long on Tesla and give it a shot, waiting for some kind of a pullback, looking for some 183 entry, and then my stop would be right below that hammer. It's worth a shot. Hey, we got Johnny G piling in with us. And we definitely have some good, I think from back here, we have some good volume as well. Just in terms of the VPOC. So a little bit of volume right there. It's not much. But we got, that was a resistance spot. We're kind of coming down. We already bounced off there one time. That should be some kind of support. This would terrify me a lot though on Tesla. This, where's my little pen thing? This little weekly head and shoulders. Technically, we already broke the neckline. We came back. This was the retest. And it's very possible that Tesla, again, this is the weekly, so probably be a few months out. Looks like it could go a lot lower if this hammer breaks. So if you're going to try to play Tesla, I could see maybe that hammer holds up, and you're going to want to probably not catch it to go long here. Wait for it to come back to the 182, 183 zone. Throw stops underneath. As soon as that hammer breaks, there's no reason not to have puts on Tesla or to try to attempt to short the thing down, but it would have a lot more room to the downside for sure if this thing cannot hold up. So I would reverse that play. Greg says sold 80% at 123. I think that's a smart move there, Greg Gilbert. Looking for XPEV to the 100 SMA. Seems like Chinese stocks on rocket ship mode. Yeah, lots of strength in the Chinese names. I think Michael Burry tweeted something as well. not specifically for XPEV, but I think the Chinese companies in general. I think I don't want to mess up what his tweet was. Let me plug this laptop in real quick. I don't want to mess up what his tweet was or what he was referencing, but it was definitely to some extent of we're back at the levels valuation wise on a lot of these Chinese names, Bob included. I think Billy was included. Of we're at the same valuation we were at 1997. So if you're looking for a decent deal, I know there's going to be a lot of controversy. Still, you got political risk. You got a lot of reasons to be scared of any of the Chinese names, but they're definitely been getting a bid recently. This is the nice strong breakout week. See if we get a little bit of a pullback. Looks like we're already kind of gapping up above last week's candle, so has some room to run. And on a daily chart, we are above the 10. I mean, that's a here's our downtrends. That broke the downtrends here, came back, retested, and this could start. If this is some type of a wave one on this breakout after that retest, 1, 2, this is a wave 3. How high this runs, I'm not sure. Maybe we get to the $16 level. Just eyeballing it would be a decent spot for a pullback. And then we create that wave 5 to some extent, whether it's new highs or something like that. But that's what I think XPEV could do. But I'd have to wait for the pullback too. So let me just see what that previous VPOC is. Because again, that was a massive, huge volume 2 days ago. So Thursday. And yeah, all the Chinese names have been extra strong. That's an interesting gap this morning on XPEV. Getting above that Friday candle. Could be an open and just straight runs. For me, I'd like to catch something close to about 11.52. See if I can get a little bit of a pullback first. Matt R says, as for me, I like Hong Kong. At Michael Burry. Let's see the Woodshed chart. Woodshed, what is this guy thinking today? Gotta slide this over a little bit. So you're looking to go short. Are you in this already, Woodshed, or no? Is that where you got in, or are you looking for this pullback? Looks to me like you're looking for a little bit of a pullback first, or push in. Oh, you're already in this thing. Okay, so you got triggered at a great entry. Yeah, selling. I mean, again, the market started rallying. I mean, besides the last CPI when we had Jerome Powell start talking and going a little bit more dovish, there's a lot of people sitting in a bullish direction right now that's probably profitable and especially in this type of market, ring the register prior to the CPI coming out next week. So I think that could prevent us from really having a strong run until, if that CPI number comes in light, though, this market has for sure some legs in it. Coinbase, nothing too crazy on Coinbase, but we do have a little bit of a double bottom, higher lows. We are above the 10, at least on a daily at this point. So Coinbase, maybe. PayPal was extra weak. Still looks like this one's breaking down. This should be a retest. We closed at a decent level, but kind of below that last VPOC. And it looks like we are gapping down slightly. This one would be a nice, I think, or decent opportunity for short, probably 75. If you're on a swing trade, and I could get in short around 75.16, taking a breakdown, putting a stop somewhere at 77.23. That gives you about $2 of risk, and that is not a good close on Friday from Das PayPal. We got Melly. Just kind of hanging out at JP Morgan. JP Morgan looks like it has the ability to break down. That would be an interesting short. That would almost probably fit the woodshed type of setup. Why is this thing not moving? There we go. This would be some kind of trend line like this. This was the breakdown. That's the retest into the trend line. We are right now, 2 seconds ago at least, we were below that little bit of a level of support. Yeah, I'd be watching JP Morgan. Right now, it looks like we are set to open down below that kind of VPOC. Maybe a little bit of a bounce spot, or at least some kind of maybe support. But if we break down this candle after the 10 EMA, that looks like to me a 10 EMA play on a daily as well. That's not a horrible look on a potential breakdown from JP Morgan, which is again another stock that has just absolutely been catapulting. Jose says, okay, Baba going bananas. The banana Baba. Yeah, pre-market. Where is this thing running? Up $3 pre-market. Technically you're above some of the what should have been resistance. I'd be looking next stop on Baba, maybe 97.51. There's a lot of strength that you're just not really seeing. Again, I think China in a weird way is about a year ahead of us on some of their charts. So as they were the first ones kind of tanking before the US markets even started tanking, hitting lows, and then kind of the US market was following them. I don't think a lot of the selling is done, quite frankly, in the US market, whether they're looking to sell in December or wait for the new year. I think the macro picture still looks a little bit uglier. And I think all the Chinese name was the first ones down. I would assume they would be the first ones out of it too. So far, it looks like Amazon, Tesla, only 10 EMA plays out of the gate. Yeah, Tesla for sure. That's one that I will definitely be watching very closely. And then we have Amazon. I didn't even think Amazon looked that. I think Tesla looks a little bit better than Amazon. Yeah, Amazon still has a little bit of that volume that I'd be worried about. We still have a couple levels of VPOCs, and this is a retest gap. So if you're going to short Amazon, I'd probably want to retest first, come back into this $94 zone, and then look for the 10 EMA after that, where Tesla is a gap and go technically. But you were right. Both of those so far will be the only two that really qualify. At least for the six stocks that we watch and we look at. But we only have 1 more minute left. Unfortunately, everybody out there in YouTube land, this is the time where I gotta cut the cord. But make sure on the way out, you guys hit the little subscribe, like button if you have not done so already. And like I said, subscribe. Make sure you're in tune with the latest content and any of the newer trading videos that Real Life Trading is putting out almost, I would say, probably daily or relatively close to it. And you guys do not want to miss that content. Otherwise, we don't have to say goodbye. Technically, you just go to reallifetrading.com. We do have the all access pass. Make sure you guys check that out. You guys could be with us trading, taking some of the classes all throughout the day. We are live until 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 2 hours after the market. So just boatloads of content throughout the entire day. Otherwise, you guys are incredible, and I will